Hier sind wir direkt auf dem Showfloor der E3 mit Dean Hall, dem Erfinder von DayZ, weltweites Zombie-Phänomen, das dieses Jahr auch in einer Standalone-Version rauskommen wird. Hello, Dean.
Hello.
And Dean, you're going to show us the game today live here on stage. Dean wird jetzt uns quasi persönlich mal durch diese Standalone-Version führen und dann schauen wir mal, was er zu erzählen hat. Dean, please.
Awesome. Let's go.
Okay, once more here we are with the standalone version of DayZ with the developer Dean Hall, and you're going to give us a walkthrough of the game. Just tell us what's new, what's exciting about the standalone version of DayZ.
Sure. So we've spent a lot of time basically taking feedback on what was wrong and what wasn't working with the mod. So one of the biggest things was to take DayZ from being this first-person shooter into being basically an MMO. And we needed to do that to deal with like security and hackers and stuff like that. So one of the things I can show in here is loot now spawns, instead of spawning in piles, it's actually a lot more dynamic. So you're going around and scavenging. Obviously we've turned the spawn mechanics right up so that for this purposes so people can see everything. So we've spent a lot of time on the new inventory system and yeah, just to make it a lot more fluid and for players to actually go around and be actually picking stuff up. So I'll pick that up and you can see in my inventory stuff nearby me and all that kind of stuff.
Is there any real new content or is it just improvements to the game?
Yeah, well, a lot of new content. So everything we're putting in game, we're actually redoing from scratch. So the character model's brand new, the grass is brand new, all the foliage, all the building interiors, the zombies, their animations, all that kind of stuff. It's all. The idea is to make it all new. So to make the character a lot more fluid, to do little bunny hops and run around and make the animations a lot more responsive, so that the player actually really feels like they're in the game.
Is this a typical DayZ scene we're seeing here?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Although to be honest, it's probably not typical to be running around with an AK. So we're putting melee in the game. It's not in yet, so this is basically a development build. It's just the current state of the game, and
If you look at it now, playing, how amazed are you? I mean, this has become a global success, and you started off as this little mod. Is that being here at E3, showing the game? Is that something special?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely, yeah. Okay, so I guess we've been doing a lot of work with having it so that you can actually change your clothes and all this kinds of stuff. So we really wanted to make it so that players can actually customize their character and really interact with the environment a great deal. We've got a new crafting system, so you can see here these are two portions of a map, so two quarters of a map, and I can actually go in and craft these together. Obviously all this is sort of programmer art, there's still a lot of work to be done with the art, but yeah, we're just trying to get the functionality working first, and now I've got the two maps joined together. So we're really excited about crafting. We think it's going to be a really, really big part of the game. Another thing I can craft, I've dropped it, where is it? My hoodie here. So you can, there's multiple ways you can pick stuff up. So that's dirty pond water. I can actually craft that and purify the water, and then I can interact with it and drink with it. Well, my mouse is going all crazy here. But yeah, it's been, there we go, zombie. It's been a cool time. We've had a lot of trouble with the zombies getting their animations sequenced, and there's still a real problem with it at the moment, but we're really happy with how they're improving. It was one of the big problems with the mod, was to get them looking much more effective. So we got a few here. We'll see them running and come and hurt me.
Before the show, you said you were afraid that people might be disappointed with the standalone version because there's so much hype.
Yep.
You're still worried?
Well, I think that probably those people who were really badly susceptible to the hype will probably now will maybe not get the alpha. But that's kind of okay for us, because we don't necessarily need heaps of people to buy the alpha. We just want people to, we want to get the alpha out to the real core fans, get them involved with the development, figure out what's working and what doesn't, and then later on, once we fix the bugs, I'm sure people will come back.
This has moved from like a fun project or your personal endeavor. Now it's more moving towards a commercial project. Has anything changed in that respect?
You mean in terms of like, have we changed our development focus in that, I guess, as a result of it? Yeah, like I think that, you know, it's you start having to deal with like budget approvals and growing the team and all those kinds of stuff. So that's definitely a very difficult thing to do, to manage, to do it properly, particularly because this is an accidental project. We didn't really have time to do planning or anything like that. So yeah, it's been very difficult to do that. But I think we're seeing the light in the end of the tunnel now. December was a very bad time for us because we'd made a lot of bold and risky decisions, and yet we hadn't really delivered on anything. It even looked like we might have to start again from scratch. But here we are. You know, we're showing something, and I think what we're showing is at least some progress. Yeah.
Now, if you look around you will see that there are games like DayZ are popping up everywhere. Is that you know, people say that copying is the best kind of flattery, or do you sometimes get annoyed thinking like, come on, guys?
Oh, I don't think it's. That doesn't annoy me. I think it is the best form of flattery, and I think that the more survival games we get, the better they are. But one thing I would say, I think that a lot of those games are zombie games with maybe some survival elements. I think DayZ is definitely a zombie game, a survival game with a few zombies in it, and you can tell that because the zombies aren't very good. So I think that DayZ is all about survival, and it's going to stay about that. And I think there's room for a lot of the games that are out there.
If you look at the game, maybe if you are there any favorite moments from development that you can look back on now? Maybe stressful at the time, but now you feel like, oh, if I look at how this turned out, this is awesome.
Yeah, well, our whole approach to the MMO, changing the architecture to an MMO and the inventory system, we looked like we were doomed in December. It looked really bad. It looked like we were going to be totally screwed. But yet, it sort of came through to us. So kind of in January, it really just started to come together, and we were happy with how things progressed.
What are your plans for the future?
Well, we need to get DayZ Alpha out. We need community feedback on it. It's very important. There's a lot of new stuff we've put in that we need to find out from the community if it's worthwhile continuing to go in that direction. And then, from there, putting in new content, doing new stuff, and just like Minecraft did, weekly updates with new weapons, with new stuff, and new features.
So your plan is to go ahead in an evolutionary way, and you're not going to be making DayZ 2 in a couple of months?
No, I really doubt that I'd be involved in DayZ 2 at all. I think I'm confident that once we do this, we'll do it well. But I guess probably, if it's successful, there will be a DayZ 2, but yeah, I don't know whether it'll be my baby.
How do you decide what kind of community feedback you listen to and which one you discard?
Well, I kind of like to think that you try and read everything and you just sort of soak it all up and look for patterns in it. If a lot of people are saying they've got an issue with something, then it's really something that you should actually look at. At least that's my theory. Yeah. Okay.
Well, to close things up, what is the thing you're most proud of out of the entire scope of development? What would be the one thing you would pick out and say, that is the best thing I've done when I made this game?
Well, I think that you can't really see it, but the server client architecture is really good. But I guess in terms of stuff that you can see that I directly did myself, so the movement to now having loot where it spawns around stuff and it's actually in the environment and you're actually having to scavenge down to pick stuff up. I think that is something that I'm really proud of, and I think it's a really compelling little feature of stuff. So I think that's it's something great, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay. Does the game feel and look just the way you envisioned it when you started working on it, or did it turn out to be something entirely different?
Well, I don't think we're at where I want to be yet. I think it's still got a long way to go, but it's on its way to being the vision I had.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot, Dean.
Cool.
This is DayZ Standalone version at E3 2013. Have a great show.
Awesome.